Nick Young crowns LeBron James as the GOAT after witnessing his season debut. I'm sorry, all the Jordan fans. LeBron James' status as one of the greatest players in NBA history has long been secure, yet for dedicated fans of Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant, his 6 losses in the NBA Finals remain the central argument for not crowning the 4-time MVP with the honor. However, after witnessing King James' debut in the 2025-26 season, Nick Young, who is traditionally aligned with Kobe in such discussions, found himself compelled to acknowledge that James may in fact stand alone at the top. Young crowns James as the GOAT. LeBron had missed the training camp the preseason and the first 14 games of the regular season, dealing with the sciatica injury. In this span, Luka Doncic and Austin Reeves formed a reliable backcourt tandem, averaging more than 60 points per game combined. So naturally, many anticipated he would look sluggish and speculated whether LeBron would be able to settle in as arguably the third-best player on the stat sheet. And even if that was the case, would James even be effective and not spoil the team's already set camaraderie? However, upon stepping onto the court against the Utah Jazz, James gradually made his mark. He had a ball usage rate of 13% and attempted merely 7 field goal attempts to not force himself into the offensive system. Rather, James dished out a game-high 12 assists to help his other teammates control the game better. This performance only forced Young to marvel at King James and emphasize how neither Jordan nor Kobe could impact the game in this game, or willingly take a back seat as the ultimate alpha. Looking at LeBron James last night, man, to be a Jordan-Kobe fan, it's hard not to put LeBron as the greatest player ever, Young said with a subtle smile on his face on an episode of the Gills Arena show. After what he did, it's hard for people because they can't accept that greatness. Looking at this, LeBron James is the greatest player to have played this game. I'm sorry, all the Jordan fans. Mia Kobe, I'm biased, but LeBron James is the best player to play this game. LeBron can solidify his GOAT this season. Regardless of how many NBA championships or MVP awards others have collected, the fact that a 41-year-old James could realistically guide the Lakers to their 18th championship carries immense significance. Should he achieve that feat, it would strengthen the argument that he is the true GOAT irrespective of whether traditional narratives resist the shift. Additionally, considering the contrast with the other 2 GOAT candidates is stark. Both Jordan and Bryant were far removed from playoff contention in the final years of their careers, whereas James remains firmly positioned in the championship hunt in his 23rd season. Safe to say that Young may simply be the first to accept a reality many have long been reluctant to acknowledge. Who knows, by the time James concludes his 2025-26 campaign, many would echo the same sentiment sung by Swaggy P. Still, a GOAT debate will always be a topic among basketball lovers, and it's impossible to come up with a universal answer because the question is so subjective. A chance for a chip on LeBron's 23rd season. After missing the first 14 games of the season for the Los Angeles Lakers, LeBron James quietly made NBA history to become the first player to play 23 seasons. If these stats are accurate, he is reportedly just 50 games behind the immortal Robert Parrish, who holds the record for most games played. Well, quietly might be an inappropriate adverb, as we all know that the massive media machine that huffs and puffs his every move made sure to bombard us with superlatives about his greatness. Funny. What amuses me to no end is that his fanboys will die on the hill that the more he plays as he ages, he is getting more GOAT. Really? So let's just ignore the fact that his numbers are dwindling, and from the eye test alone, he is obviously not the same player he was even 2 years ago. Since when did the GOAT conversation become a sentimental parley? So the more he plays, the greater he becomes. Even if he is not even the best player on his team anymore, he might now be relegated to being the third option on his team with the way Austin Reeves has been playing. My take. I too am a LeBron James fan, but some of these fanboys are just too overbearing for comfort. I think we should just all enjoy him while he is still playing and cherish the fact he still plays the game at a high level approaching age 40. In fact, I am rooting for him to win his 5th crown, albeit he is no longer the best player on his team. In actuality, that will even widen the gap between him and Michael Jordan, his greatest rival in the GOAT conversation, simply because in all his championships, MJ was always the best player on his team without question. A 5th title for King James with him as the second or third fiddle to me is great and should be celebrated as a very high milestone. Let's leave it at that and not muddle it with a malarkey GOAT argument. Lakers. They are off to a great start, and LeBron chose the perfect time to make his season debut against the lowly Utah Jazz. At least he could low-key ease himself into rhythm. The Jazz are at the 10th spot in the stacked Western Conference, and LeBron looked great, making timely passes to his teammates. Still, there are some who worry if he can indeed transition and let go of the reins. Well, he really has no choice. Luka is the leading scorer in the NBA at a 34.6 clip, while Austin Reeves is at 9th place with 28.1. LeBron has to step back and enjoy the ride, otherwise he might ruin a legitimate chance at winning a 5th chip if he upends the team dynamics. Last round. This column tolls the bell for Max Limpag, a colleague, and the brother of a good friend Mike. Godspeed, Max, to the great beyond. Gone too soon, but you will surely be missed. LeBron James debuts for Lakers vs. Jazz, launches historic 23rd NBA season record. LeBron James made his season debut for the Lakers in a 140-126 victory over the Utah Jazz, marking the start of his unprecedented 23rd NBA season. James contributed 11 points, 12 assists, and 3 rebounds in 30 minutes, helping the Lakers set a season-high scoring total. James extended his record of consecutive games with double-digit points to 1,293, dating back to January 2007. He made a key driving layup in the third quarter to maintain this streak, showcasing his consistent offensive impact. Lakers coach J.J. Redick praised James for his unselfish play and smart decision-making. He played with the right spirit, took his shots when available, and was a willing passer, Redick said, noting the defensive attention James attracts due to his post-play and rim pressure. The 40-year-old star had missed the first 14 games because of sciatica, a nerve issue affecting his lower back and right side. James described the experience as mentally challenging, saying, "It's the first time I've started a basketball season and not played since I began playing at 9 years old." With this game, James became the first NBA player in history to compete in 23 seasons, surpassing Vince Carter. He found his rhythm quickly, especially in the second half, where he racked up 8 assists, including 6 in just over 3 minutes early in the fourth quarter. Luka Doncic, who scored 37 points and dished out 10 assists for the Jazz, acknowledged James' exceptional skills. "He does things others can't. He's here to help all of us," Doncic said. James returned to practice the day before the game after a rehab stint with the G League's South Bay Lakers. He gradually regained his stamina and rhythm in his first game action in nearly 7 months, stating, "My wind got a lot better as the game went on." Entering this season, James trails Boston's Robert Parrish by 50 games for the most games played in NBA history and stands 496 assists behind Jason Kidd for third place on the all-time assists list. New teammate DeAndre Ayton expressed awe at James' passing, recalling their previous connection from James' basketball camp years ago. James' comeback highlights his enduring dominance and leadership as the Lakers aim to build momentum early in the season. Los Angeles Lakers superstar LeBron James finally made his season debut this week, recording a double-double performance against the Utah Jazz. The 40-year-old missed the first 14 games of the season with a sciatica injury, and although he looks like he will return to his all-star level of play, even in his 23rd season, his superhuman 21-year streak might be at risk. LeBron has made All-NBA teams for 21 consecutive years, and with the NBA introducing a 65 games played requirement from the 2023-24 season to be eligible for end-of-season awards, he is very likely to miss out, as he can only miss 3 more games to remain eligible. According to ESPN's Dave McMenamin, there is no certainty about LeBron's plans regarding whether he will play 65 games. One source suggests LeBron may skip back-to-back games to be ready for the postseason. LeBron can only miss 3 more games until the end of the regular season to be eligible for All-NBA. He's been All-NBA for 21 years straight. The source I spoke to today said he'd rather LeBron skip back-to-backs, but we'll see how that aligns with his plans to be eligible for All-NBA. McMenamin reported on ESPN's NBA Today show. The Lakers look poised for a deep playoff run this season, as they currently sit third in the Western Conference with an 11-4 record.